time to see how we can apply systems of equations to the real world. So we are going to solve a real world system of equations right here. And I got a bunch of steps right here that you would want to fill in. First thing you need to do is highlight important information from the scenario. So let's just read the scenario and highlight this important information. So it says, you just finished running the concession stand for the Ponies football game. You sold a total of $78. That seems important. In soda, which is 50 cents. Okay. And hot dogs, which I'm guessing are $1.50. That's a pretty good price. And you sold 87 items altogether. So altogether, when you add up all the sodas you sold and all the hot dogs you sold, there was 87 things you sold. Your boss, whoever that is, wants to know how many of each item you sold so he can order more. And so now you need to solve this system of equations right here to answer your boss, or kaput, you're done. Right? So here's the first step. We need to highlight the important information. We want to figure out how many pops we sold and how many hot dogs we sold. And so the first step after that is to define your variables. Now, in this situation, there are two variables, things that can vary. It can vary how many sodas you sell, and it can vary how many hot dogs you sell. So those are your two variables. I ought to say number of sodas, and this one will be number of HDs, hot dogs. H-dogs. How about that? That's pretty good. Okay, so that's the first step, or the second step is define the variables. We highlight important information. Second, we have to write the two equations. Now, so there's two equations in here that we can think of. One equation is based around the money. Okay, and another equation is based around the quantity, items sold. Okay, so let's set up an item sold one. If you knew that you sold 87 items, well, the 87 would be your total, right? 87 items. And that is equal to how many sodas you sold, which is X, plus how many hot dogs you sold, which is Y. You just add the hot dogs and sodas together, and you should get 87, right? So that's one equation for our system right there. Now, the next one's a little bit trickier, okay? You know you made $78.50 off of all this. So I like to start with that. I made $78.50. Okay. Well, that's equal to how many sodas I sold times 0.5, because each soda was 50 cents, right? So times 0.5, plus how many hot dogs I sold times 1.5. That's 1.5 right there. And here we go. Here are two systems of equations. And now we can go about solving these systems, or this one system. So when I look at this, I'm going to solve this. Let's solve this using substitution. I'm going to solve for either X or Y here. So let's take this equation down. I'm going to say that I got 87 is equal to X plus Y. Let's subtract X from both sides. And so I got 87 minus X is equal to Y. So I know my Y is in terms of X, and now I can take this and I can plug it into my Y right here. So let's do that. So I got 78.50 is equal to, let's do 0.5x, that's this, right, plus 1.5, and now I'm going to substitute this in for my Y right there. So let's do that in blue. Plus 87 minus X right there. So I took this, I plugged in for my Y right there, and that's where this came from. Now I have only X's here, so this is going to make my life a lot easier. Let's start simplifying this down. I might need a calculator to get things going here. Okay, so I got 0.5x plus, we'll distribute this here and here. So what's 1.5 times 87? 1.5 times 87. Oh wow, okay, so 130.5. Come back, 130.5, and 1.5 times negative x is minus 1.5x. And this is all equal to 78.5 right there. Now I'm going to combine this with this. When I combine those two together, I still got my 78.5 right here is equal to this and this, because of the negative there. 1.5 or 0.5 minus 1.5 is negative x plus 130.5. Okay. Now let's subtract 130 from both sides. 130.5, excuse me, minus 130.5, and just because I'm tired this morning, I got 78.5 minus 130.5. 78.5 minus 130.5, enter. Negative 52. So I got negative 52. Negative 52 is equal to negative x. Thus positive 52 is equal to positive x, so I know my x is equal to 52. And x was sodas, so I sold 52 sodas right there. So I got that, and now, since I know I sold 52 sodas, now I need to figure out how many hot dogs I sold. Well, the easiest equation to put that into is definitely not this one. I'd rather put it up in this one, so let's take this 52 and plug it in for my x right there. So I got 87 is equal to 52 plus y, or hot dogs. Let's subtract 52 from both sides. Subtract 52. 7 minus, that's a 5, and that's a 3. So I got y is equal to 35. Or in other words, I sold 35 hot dogs. So in the end, 50 sodas, 52 sodas. You can tell your boss this. 52 sodas, boss, and 35 hot dogs. Go order them. H dogs. There we go. And that's how you can use systems of equations to solve real world problems like this. Now, it's not always going to just be 2 of these, right? It could be like 3, 4, 5, 6. But we'll stick to 2 for now and practice that. And then we can add on later. But step 1, highlight important information. We did that. Step 2, define the variables. Sodas and hot dogs. That's what varies in this situation. Step 3, write 2 equations, which we did right here beautifully. Well, except for this 1.5 part. And then solve the system down below. I just forgot to box it at the end for you guys. My apologies. Anyway, that sums up this lesson for 3.1. I hope you all have a great night.